Good afternoon, evening, doctors, assistants, associates, practitioners. What a wonderful time to be alive. Things are amazing. We have so many exciting things coming up we want to tell you about, and then turn it over to Doug Grant, the owner of OHS and the developer of much of the nutrition that OHS has, all whole food, pre-digested with enzymes, ready to change the life of each individual in the world. That's going to be our goal for sure. Uh, Doug, you hear me there?
I can hear you just fine, Doc.
Why don't you tell them about the new office that's going to be productive there for you guys, a manufacturing facility?
Oh, thank you. We're super excited. This has been years in the making. We knew there was a lot of new FDA rules and regulations coming down, and so we've been following them, and we are complying ahead of the game. So we'll be so much further ahead than everyone else because of this type of building now that we're doing. We've laid the foundation, the concrete's in, we've got all of the basic inspections done. The building is going up. Actually, starting tomorrow, everything's in place. The walls and that start going up, and we will be in June, late June at the latest, and be ready to go as far as being able to do new production, bringing out a bunch of new formulas on top of what we already are doing, and some new technology that we're excited to bring to the market for the first time.
So we've had some new equipment sitting there waiting for the building to be done. These days, finances and government enough to cause you a lot of grief for sure, and that's exactly what's happened. And so we have been doing a lot of things to make it happen, and finally it is. Some other exciting things. Dr. Harris has been formulating products now ready for the methylation class, and many of you have been asking. The methylation class will begin in June. And then he and I have a stem cell class in July. And we also have the products made to help your body produce its own stem cells every day called OptiMagneStem. So we have been developing new products. We have a whole bunch on the shelf, such as heart and lung and those type of things you've been waiting for the last year, ready to break out as soon as we get the production center finished. So Dr. Harris is going to be on the road at least once a month somewhere, either doing the stem cell biological allograft class or the methylation class. He and I are reviewing all the nutrition with the latest literature. If you haven't heard him lecture yet, you have no idea what you're missing. He's taught himself to read in 4 different languages, and he speaks about 6 different languages. And in doing that, he's keeping up with all the research, whether it's in Russia or whether it's in Germany or the United States or England. He reads it all, and he spends hours every day reading it, and then has the audacity to remember it. Then he can help us correlate the latest research with our existing products and new ones that he has formulated. Doug, how many products do we have that Dr. Harris has formulated now?
We've already brought 10 out with just from him, and so it's he's keeping us busy like you are.
It's really a lot of great things happening that we want you to climb on board with us. Please read the puzzle pieces every week. We agonize with everything going on out there, nutrition, implementation, brain tap, detoxification, proper diet. There's just no end of the ones that we have coming out for you. And if you'll read those, and it'll help you keep up on the latest research out there. Doug, I'm going to turn it over to you. This is your night, so run with it, and we'll record this, and we'll send it out to everybody in the next couple of days, and 20,000 others weren't able to be on tonight.
Appreciate it, Doc, and we're so excited. I want to kind of play off of Dr. Brimhall a little bit in his opening. With technology now, we're able to basically do what we'd get once a year from in the past. In other words, what I mean by that is that in the past, you'd have to come to a seminar or would do an audio, recording, and that was it, and you had to wait. But now we, through technology, through email, through social media, through Instagram, through Facebook, we're able to get information to you on a constant basis, and you get bombarded anyway. So why not make sure the information you have come in is the latest research and information that can help you, your families, and your patients. So if you do not receive the weekly puzzle piece from Dr. John, and if you don't receive the emails and video emails from myself each week, please make sure you call the office and we'll get you set up. These are some phenomenal emails and blogs that we write. And what we do is we try to keep up on the very latest research. So something that might be a week old, a new research study, we'll immediately write something on it, do a little video on it, and put it out in our weekly forums through the emails, the blogs, and those things. So please make sure you do that. And you can follow us on Instagram at OHS4Life, OHS, the number 4Life. And we have things going on all the time there. If we feel that you need something like instantaneously, some new research or information or just motivation. So we're real excited about that.
I have one question. Does Dr. Mark say where we're going to do the first methylation seminar?
We actually have that meeting scheduled for 7 o'clock tomorrow morning to decide that. It seems like it's going to be, he's wanting to go in the Midwest, but he's looking at everything and everyone that's requested it and going to try to go to the center of where, the most of the requests have come from. But we'll know tomorrow and we'll get that information out.
All right. In July, we've already set that seminar. Dr. Mark and I will be about the 20th weekend, I believe, there. We're going to, and it's definitely in the puzzle piece. Jason will be sending out to everybody. We have another biological allograft stem cell seminar, 3-day, about the 20th weekend there in Colorado. So that's ready to go. Now, Dr. Mark has wanted where everybody could take this. Most of those seminars out there are 3,000 and above. We're keeping it clear down to half of that and giving you everywhere, everything, everybody you need to contact to get everything that you need to know. We are aligned with Dr. Harper. Dr. Harper's teaching seminars as well. In fact, he'll be here in my office here in Gilbert, Arizona next Tuesday. We're treating complicated cases. And there are times with sick as people are and the damage that people have, sometimes along with the best nutrition in the world, you need some other very specific character trait changes, genetic, epigenetic changes. And we can do that with biological allograft. So that's what we teach. We listen to the articles that we send out. But I have been utilizing that and treating very complicated cases with it. So back to you, Doug.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate that. And we have different seminars that'll be going on with the methylation that'll be much cheaper than that. And so we'll make it affordable for everyone. Let's go ahead and get going tonight. It's not going to be a real long webinar, but very informative of some research and things that are going on and a new product that some of you are already familiar with that's really taken the industry by storm to help fix a major problem. But I want to get into the problem to begin with. And the problem is that 2 out of every 3 visits to doctors are related to either viruses or bacteria. 2 out of 3. So we know that the virus and bacteria problem is huge, and that's the main reason that people are going to the doctor. And so, here's a normal conversation, especially with a holistic doctor. The patient, doc, I have had an infection for 3 days now. Nothing is working, and I think I just need a big antibiotic boost. Doctor, why do you think you need antibiotics? Well, I have a family trip, a reunion, meeting, so on, and coming up, and I just need to get better within a couple days. The doctor, well, research shows it takes 5 days for the high-dose Z-Pak to even work, and it comes with a lot of side effects. I don't care, says the patient. I just want to feel better now, and I'm going to do it. So they go off, as you know, and go and get, the most high-powered antibiotics they can, thinking that that's going to knock out the problem. When it doesn't even start working fully for 5 days, and then you have to deal with all the side effects from it. But what are we doing in our clinics today holistically to combat this problem of patients thinking, okay, I'll go the holistic route, but only until I really need something right now. Like I'll go that route long term, but right now I'm going to go and I'm going to hit my antibiotics, my Z-Pak and that. Well, as those of you know, Z-Pak is just high potency, high dosage, Zithromax and that antibiotics, extremely high dosage. And for some reason, there's still a perception that these high dose antibiotics, whether it's the Z-Pak or just others, actually are, the way to go to just knock something out quick. And the day and age now, that's what people are wanting. And unless we give them something to go to naturally, that's where the high majority of the public is going to go when they feel they're in a hurry or they are, tired of being sick for more than a few days and they want to be able to bust through it. So let's take a look real quick before we get to the answer on how the Zithromax Z-Pak works. We know that it's, drug-filled prescription of heavy-duty antibiotics designed really only to treat bacterial infections, but it does wipe out every healthy microbe in your body, and sometimes doesn't even wipe out all the pathogenic bacteria, depending on whether we have a super germ or not. And if you just look at the research, it tells you it takes about 5 days to fully work. So a lot of people feel that it starts relieving the symptoms immediately, some of the symptoms, but the side effects of the stomach, the diarrhea, basically it's like a bomb blowing up in the system, the vomiting, the nausea, the abdominal pain, and all these things that can go on and on and on can be a serious problem. And in fact, the actual organization that allowed the Z-Pak to come on, the FDA, said that research has uncovered that the Z-Pak could trigger potentially deadly irregular heart rhythm for some. And pills can cause abnormal changes in the heart's electrical activity that lead to a fatal heart rhythm. There are major problems with this high potency, high dosage antibiotic approach, whether we call it a Z-Pak again or not. We know that these high potency or dosage antibiotics can damage mitochondria. We know that these high dosage antibiotics are like a nuke going off in your system, destroying everything in sight. And we basically know that unless we come in and do something different after they've taken it, the system is going to be down for quite a while and come back with yeast infections and those things, which many times is even the least of the problem. Antibiotic being against life, probiotic for life. And so the against life thing is, I think, is one thing that you all know, doctors, but many times the patients need to be told over and over again what that word even means, that it means against life, and that there's some things that they need to do to understand that there's a time and a place, but it's usually not the time and the place that most people jump to so quickly. So the Z-Pak, if you Googled right now, this was from today, and just said, okay, and I have mine set to mainly pull up mainly research browsers, but the Z-Pak and other antibiotics are 1,000 times stronger than antibiotics were 30 years ago. In other words, the antibiotics used to treat elephants 30 years ago is what's used just to treat a normal 150, 160 pound person today. When we know the side effects to this, that even the group that made it, the Pfizer Corporation, is paying out over $6 million just because of the deceptive tactics spoken about the Z-Pak and the deadly complications that come with it, and the cases of sudden cardiac death that I referred to a minute ago. Whether they have it or not, their increased risk is over 200 to 250% more by taking it. So, docs, what main point here is to get us all to realize the importance of doing something about this for our patients. We know that over 70, 80 million Americans suffer from digestive order and hospitalized, and many times due to complications from the antibiotics that they're taking. So we do know we have the Flora Plus. We do know that we, have the OptiImmune VRL from Dr. Brimhall that he formulated, the Opti Defense. We have different products, and many times we'll want to try to load our patients up with them, which is, you'll see here in a second, the point I'm getting to. But when you really look at the research and say, okay, with the immune system, once in a while, if we go in and we just blow it up in the good way, in other words, boost the immune system instead of destroying it, then we can actually create a tremendous boost very quickly to where people, if they feel something come on, can stop it before it comes on, or if they do have it, be able to improve the time that it takes to actually get better without going the antibiotic route. The neat thing is that we have a lot of research in that area on different nutrients that we'll talk about. So what we did is we created what's called the Optimal Natural Z-Pak. And the Optimal Natural Z-Pak is formulated to create a massive immune boost, like crazy immune boost, boom, in the system, just to give the body the energy and that it needs and the nutrients to be able to blow out what's coming on, or again, improve the amount of time that they have to deal with that cold or flu or whatever that might be going on in the system. We know the leaky gut syndrome is a big factor of pathogens being able to get into the system, and the importance of the flora. This pack, the Natural Z-Pak, we did something very different. We put a very, very special formula in this, and it's only in the Z-Pak. That we worked very hard to stabilize at high potencies, and it has over 21 billion colonizing forming units. And doctors, remember, CFU stands for colonizing forming units. That means how many of the bacteria get in and colonize and plant in the gut and start to be able to benefit the body and boost the immune system. This pack has 21 billion per pack in it. Now we know that the probiotics naturally inhabit the intestines, and we need many different forms of probiotics, and that's where most formulas go astray, is that we've got to make sure we have all the probiotics inhabit all the different areas of the gut, or else we still have these problems. We got to support the immune reaction of the intestinal cells, make sure the communication increases and crowd out the bacterial pathogens. And so that's what we work with over 20 billion stabilized patented probiotics in this formula. The other thing I want to go into, besides the 21 billion that are in this pack for your patients, is understand that we can attack and improve the immune system from many different angles, and it's very important to go after every angle. So we added in it the DDS1, the beta-glucans, the echinacea, the colostrums, the antimicrobial enzymes that help with the viruses, fungus, and pathogenic bacteria. We have the formula from Dr. John with the glandulars, with the lysine in it for viral issues, not just for bacterial issues, but for viral issues, and the green teas and the elderberries, the olive leaves, the garlics and the echinacea. Now, why I'm saying all of these ingredients specifically is all of these ingredients, from the lysine, the glandulars, the green tea, the elderberry, the olive leaf, the garlic, and the echinacea, have been proven double-blind research studies to help fight off viruses and bacteria. So they provide this boost to the system, and we have the research to back it up, and that's what's exciting about it. Then we look at the immune system from a whole different angle, the angle of like vitamin D and what it does for optimum immune health, vitamin K2, vitamin CoQ10, the fat-soluble nutrients. And then the new research that's out on ashwagandha, Bacopa monnieri, and the effects of cortisol, along with Panax ginseng, I'm sorry. Then the important factors with the patented minerals, not junk minerals, but we're talking about the organic minerals. And most of you have seen the new research on curcuminoids from turmeric and other factors like that. So what we did is we took the best of everything, over 50 nutrients, put them together along with 21 billion CFU probiotics, and put it together in the Z-Pack. So you can see a little bit here on the label what we're talking about, and I want to get a little bit more into the research on that, because we know that just the immune complex itself can boost the immune system in the body almost 70% immediately. Now, what we mean by that is if you take a look at the research just on the nutrients within the immune complex, we know that based on the research, we can boost the immune system well over 50, up to 70% immediately. What does that mean for your patients? That means that they can take a pack. So it comes in packs, and they can take a pack. So they'll have their box, their Optimal Natural Z-Pack. They'll take a pack. It has all those nutrients in it. They'll take one pack 3 times a day for 10 days. So it's a 30-pack box. So it's a 10-day system. They just boost their immune system dramatically, and then they keep one in the medicine cabinet for that day when something comes on again. They start feeling it come on, or if they come down with something, they can get right back on it. And that's one of the key factors I really wanted to share with you. A doctor the other day at a conference that I taught in Tucson brought it up. He's like, look, every single one of my patients need one of these in their medicine cabinet so that they don't have to wait a day or two or come track me down if I keep them at the office to be able to get on it. Once they start to feel something, they need to get on it. And if they do come down with it, many times they're not feeling well enough, they need to have it in their medicine cabinet where they can go to it and just boost their immune system dramatically. It's not something you take every day. It's something you take when you just need to dramatically boost the immune system for a short time, but it's through a positive way. We're blowing it up and to use the words of the antibiotics, but in a positive way, because we're boosting the body's immune system. Many times people will say, okay, you've got everything but the kitchen sink in the Z-Pack. Is there anything else? We always recommend the fruit and veggie with it just because of the human clinical studies that were done on this formula to spike mitochondrial oxygen consumption. Again, these are human studies, and usually you only get told about animal studies. we're inhibiting the free radical. We know it as reactive oxygen species, or ROS generation in the blood. We're able to improve the oxygen consumption, which helps to fight the bacteria and viruses. Remember that bacteria and viruses can't live in an oxygenated environment. And so when we have a formula that has human clinical studies and government approval to show that it spikes cellular oxygen consumption, we know we're on the good path, and that's what the fruit and veggie does. So when you combine the Z-Pak with the fruit and veggie formula, then we're able to boost the immune system and be able to provide the extra oxygen to be able to kill off these bacteria and viruses. And so what I wanted to do here before we close is go over a couple things of the new research that's out for you doctors to be able to share with your patients to help them understand what's going on. And if you're taking notes, I'd highly recommend you put a few things down. And again, if you call the office tomorrow, the number's on the screen. We can also send you over this presentation so you can have some of the research if you'd like. If you do your own seminars and that, we'd be glad to send that to you. But here's some of the research, and one of the things we quoted tonight already was, remember, 2 out of 3 people that go to see their doctor are going there because of a pathogenic bacteria or virus. 2 out of 3. So because of that, we must have something we do to help with it. And we do have individual products that many times that's all that's needed. The Optimmune VRL from Dr. John, or the probiotics, the Flora Plus, things like that. Absolutely, positively. I keep the vitamin C chewables handy and have a few of them. I ever feel anything with the throat and that, and everything works great. But we must have something to combat this problem of the most recommended and most prescribed block of drugs out there today, the antibiotics, that we are able to combat that from a natural standpoint. And the way we've done it is the optimal natural Z-Pak. So if you're taking notes, 2 out of 3 people visit the doctor because of bacterial or viral factors. We've got to have something for it. The other factor is that we know now that the antibiotic potency that we use is what they used 30 years ago for elephants. So we're talking a tremendous increase of the potency because of super germs. And that's the other word, doctors, if you're taking notes, you teach your patients about super germs, that they're having to increase antibiotics. So they're blowing up the system more, destroying more life, antibiotic, now than ever before because of the strains of super germs that have been caused by these antibiotics. So we have a lot larger problem, and it gets worse the more antibiotics we give. And the other factor that we know now is that probiotics themselves, if they can get in and implant in the gut, can reverse this problem faster than anything else we have, be able to get the ecology of the gut, be able to get the pH back where it belongs. We improve digestion, whether it's diarrhea or constipation. It fixes both of them when you increase and improve the flora in the gut. So we want to be able to understand the importance of that and why we boosted the CFUs in just this pack over 20 billion, so that we can just blow the system up, create a flora blitz, and be able to go on with that. And the other thing to teach the patients is this, is that there are nutrients proven, and if you want to use the word double-blind studies, but proven through double-blind studies to boost the body's immune system, to boost it. And we know that the research shows it's been proven to boost it immediately. So the new studies out on curcuminoids, on turmeric, on the beta-glucans, on everything we've gone over today, the garlic, the echinacea, all of these factors have the double-blind research. So the patient can say, hey, I see that it's a problem. I do need the natural approach. Are we saying never, ever take any other approach? That's up to the individual. But what we are saying for sure is to make sure you go in the right order of how you should attack the problems in your life and work on improving your health. That is the key, is the order. And if we have something to be able to boost the immune system dramatically, quickly, right up front, then that is somewhere that your patients can go to look for relief, instead of going to, like the conversation we had, well, I need it quickly. I'm busy. I've got work. I've got vacation. I've got this. So I'm just going to go do the antibiotic approach or the Z-Pak approach. Well, hold your horse. here's the deal. We can go at it naturally with a big boost of the immune system. We have the natural Z-Pak. So doctors, we're really excited about this. We've had it out now for just about 4 weeks, and it is flying off the shelves. We have a very special machine that we have that can make these. It can put the capsules in the packs, and very specific, and be able to run them and be able to come out, so that we're able to have them available to make it easy, that the patient just takes one in the morning, puts the other 2 in their pocket, takes the other one noon in the evening, and they go on and go through this. So there's a few questions I'm getting. Let me answer real quick before we close. So the question is why wouldn't someone go on this every day? Well, the reason is that we know the research shows that the body can be accustomed to things. One of the things that we're wanting to do in a situation where a cold or flu or sick virus, bacteria hits the body is we want to shock the body. It's one of the reasons that some of these antibiotic combinations work, not the antibiotics themselves, but the shock, but it's in a bad way. We want to be able to come in and boost the body's immune system dramatically with some things that it's not used to at those dosages, so that we're able to get that and just blow out the bacteria and viruses, or have the nutrients do their job. So we don't recommend it. We recommend staying on the basics for the immune system. Some of the products that are individually found in the bottles, like the Optimmune VRL, Flora, things like that. Like I said, the vitamin C chewables. But then keep this in the medicine cabinet. This should be in every medicine cabinet in every patient's home. And if you had your clinic teach that, I think that's really, the doctor in Tucson, Arizona, he says, that's it. Every patient that comes in, do you have a natural Z-Pak at home in your medicine cabinet? If you don't, missing out. You're not listening to me. Every one of you need this natural Z-Pak in your medicine cabinet, not for today, but for when you need it, when you feel something coming on or you get sick. And I thought that was a great approach, that he's helping his patients be able to be ready for when the time comes. So I hope that answers that question. One other one here. Are all these products found individually in the lines with Dr. Brimhall and Optimal Health Systems? All of the products that are in this, the 50 nutrients, are found in different ones, but you'd have to buy 5 or 6 different bottles, with the exception of the 21 billion CFU. It's only found in the natural Z-Pak. It's a very special formulation that we combined with the Flora Plus just to boost the CFUs, and we're hoping that people understand the importance of that for just a short time. If you look at the research, it's like with everything else. You don't want to take extreme amounts all the time. You want to keep a nice steady flow of probiotics on a daily basis, but then have the major boost just once in a while, so that the system can reset. But you want the Flora to be able to get in the system and work and grow and learn. And you can't do that if you're throwing too much at it all the time. It's just in these times of need. So I hope that answers that question fine. So doctors, we really appreciate your time. We'll be getting the list out of the seminars coming up. They're going on the road. Dr. John, Dr. Harris, myself. We're starting this season, if you would, and go through the summer, and then kind of build up to the big homecoming at the first of the year. So make sure you're on our email lists and our blog. Follow us on the Instagram on the OHS for Life, so you can find out the new things that are going on and the giveaways, just for fun, to keep us motivated on health. And we'll get that to you. And make sure that you call in and mention you were a part of this webinar tonight, to be able to receive 20% off the wholesale pricing of the Natural Z-Pak. And I'd highly recommend you look at this as something that you recommend all of your patients to have in their medicine cabinet, so they're ready to go. Thanks, docs, and we'll talk to everyone soon. Bye-bye.